What is it that drives us to finish the things we start? Why do we chase the things that knock us down? Why do we suffer for something no one asked us to do? Maybe because we hope there's something waiting at the top, some proof that it was all worth it, some glimpse of who we are when no one else is watching. This game doesn't care how long you've been falling. It doesn't care if it's been hours or days. It only asks one question. Will you try again? You ever find yourself standing at the bottom of something impossible? No one would blame you for turning back. But there's a whisper in your chest. Just one thought that won't let go. And so I jumped.
April 3rd, 2022. It was a typical Sunday. I'd plans to stream on Twitch, but I didn't know what game to play. Scrolling through my Steam library, I saw it. The circular head of a funny-looking bald man on a blue background. Pogostuck. A game I had played briefly before, but not for very long. The game had originally been recommended to me by a viewer, Poopsock42069. And no, this is not a joke. Now, Pogostuck was always something I'd heard of, but I'd never seen anyone play it. So on Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, my journey to beat Pogostuck Map 1 officially began. For those of you unacquainted with Pogostuck, the premise is simple. You play as a caveman on a pogo stick trying to clear a map full of obstacles to reach the finish line. There are only 3 controls: left, right, and jump. There are no enemies, no bosses, no checkpoints, just a pogo stick, gravity, and a finish line. I decided it would be my goal to beat the game by the end of the week. 7 days to beat a game with only 3 controls. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. In this game, there are so many ways to fall, causing you to lose hours, if not days, of progress. This is the beginning of Map 1. Starting here, the player has to travel to the right, overcoming several fruit and rock-themed obstacles. After a short stretch, covering nearly 13% of the map, you run into your first of many vertical challenges. It's here where a lot of new players will spend their time learning how to do basic jumps and preparing for the more difficult challenges ahead. After making it up the incline, you enter a small cave. Here you have to jump back and forth between 2 walls to make it up this gap. It was here that I met my first Pogostuck guide, Fire. As you may have noticed, Pogostuck is an online game, and other players can jump alongside you, albeit unable to interact with you directly.
Wait, you're in the lobby? Oh, no way.
What I didn't realize at the time was that Fire had beaten the map in under 4 minutes, which if you can't tell is really good. In fact, as of February 3rd, 2026, here's the leaderboard for Map 1. You know who this is right here? Pretty impressive. It took a few tries, but eventually I managed to make it up the gap. Up next was trees. Here you are faced with 2 trees. To pass this part, you need to jump up the branches, then boost over this large gap. A boost is performed by doing a full 360 in the air before landing, giving you an even bigger jump.
Just stop! Why would you do that?
Over an hour into the stream, I was able to summit the first of the 2 trees.
I love lean.
But I fell shortly after. And then I fell again. And that's basically how it goes for any Fadian game. Keep failing over and over again until you finally make it.
Why? Why would you do that? Wait! Oh, so goated! Wait, no, why? Why would you fuck it up like that?
2 hours into the stream, I managed to pull this off.
Come on, just roll with the momentum. Roll with the momentum. Roll with the momentum. Roll with it. Roll with it. Don't let it tilt you. Don't be tilted. Don't be tilted. Don't be tilted. Feel the pogo stick. Feel the pogo stick, baby!
And with that, I'd beat the tutorial. There's a number in the top left corner of Pogostuck. It tells you how far you've made it up the map. After 2 hours of bumbling my way through the tutorial, I'd made it to 27%. Being naive, this 27% in the corner gave me false confidence that I could beat this game in around 10 hours. But what lied ahead would be so much worse. This is Grapes, a collection of circular, some would say grape-like platforms you must scale horizontally and vertically in order to reach the next area. I didn't know it yet, but Grapes would become my nightmare for the rest of the game. It was here I had yet another Pogostuck veteran join, Calmness.
Oh, hey, Calmness. How are you? I hope you're having a good night or day or wherever you are.
This one's for you. This video has been 4 years in the making. If you enjoyed this style of content, do me a favor and like the video and subscribe to stick around for more. I promise it won't be another 4 years. Thanks. After 3 hours of hopping around, my chat had grown tired of seeing me in the default skin, so after much petitioning, I finally donned the iconic sombrero. The rest of day 1 saw little to no progress in Grapes. At one point, I even ended up giving Chad a lesson on High School Musical.
It's about the movie where there's a new girl in school, and then the basketball guy has a crush on her, and then they end up singing a song at a party, and then they fall in love, and then they meet, and then the dude cheats on his basketball homies to be in a talent show with this one girl, and it turns out they're both really good at singing, and they make friends with the piano girl, and then the basketball homies and Sharpay then ruin their relationship. The fuck is High School?
Mind you, I had not seen the movie in over a decade, so the fact that I was able to recap the movie in this level of detail made me all the more baffled that anyone can go their whole life without knowing a single thing about it.
You've never heard of this, ever. No, how do 3 people not know it? Okay, I can't tell if some of you are just fucking with me, but come on.
After almost making it out of Grapes, I decided to call it quits for the night.
Yeah!
My current personal best, 36.5%. Starting day 2, I had a lot of energy and was more than ready to get past Grapes. I was already beginning to see a difference in my ability to control my pogo stick.
Watch this, watch this. Woo! All right, didn't really do much. Watch this one though. Oh baby, oh baby!
And while I was better than the day before, that's honestly a pretty low bar.
But it doesn't matter because look at this quick recovery.
But finally, an hour into day 2, I managed to reach the end of Grapes and not screw it up.
Oh! Look who's at a grape, baby! Where am I?
It was now time for Honey Tree. Honey Tree. A collection of branches you have to hop between in order to progress.
Bro, 40%!
But wait, there's more. Honey Tree introduces 2 new obstacles unlike anything we've seen before. First, there's tree sap, which I mistakenly called honey. As it turns out, trees do not make honey. This tree sap is a very slippery substance, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. Any contact with it will cause your pogo stick to spin wildly out of control. Then there's the mushrooms. These are essentially bounce pads that give you a bigger jump. Since I hit 40%, the chat made a prediction.
Will Max get 60% by what? By the end of the stream?
I spent the next half hour learning Honey Tree, trying to navigate the mushrooms and tree sap. Then tragedy struck.
No, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Ah!
In most games, when you complete a challenging section, you get to forget about it and move on. But in Pogostuck, if you screw up, you fall down. And at the bottom, Grapes is waiting. I spent the next couple hours bouncing between Grapes and Honey Tree, then I called it a night. I didn't hit the 60% goal Chad had set for me, but I was learning, and it wouldn't be long before I made it past Honey Tree. Now I owe you an explanation. You may have been under the impression that it was my goal to not end stream until I beat map 1. But you may notice there's a large gap between day 2 and day 3. That's because I didn't come up with the whole don't end stream idea until day 3. So on Saturday, April 9th, 2022, I officially declared the challenge.
Today, I'm undertaking the biggest challenge of my life. Bigger than college. Bigger than high school. Bigger than getting a girlfriend. Today I'm not going to stop streaming until I have beaten Pogostuck. Map 1.
From this day forward, I did everything on stream. Every morning I would wake up, put on a video for chat to watch, make breakfast, eat, then get to playing Pogostuck. Day 3 started in Honey Tree. I was definitely improving, but the most difficult part of Honey Tree was still yet to come. This is the final stretch of Honey Tree. It consists of 2 mushrooms followed by a narrow gap and a stretch of sap that you have to clear to move on. The difficulty is in controlling the bounce off the last mushroom and angling yourself just enough to make it through the gap without slipping on the tree sap. This was my first attempt at it.
No!
Absolutely terrible.
People say grapes is hard, but I've always been under the assumption that grapes is pretty easy.
Now you may think I'm joking, but just watch this. That was under 2 minutes. Truly unprecedented. And 30 minutes later, I had my first successful exit from Honey Tree.
Oh. Wait, stop!
It took another 2 hours before I had another clean Honey Tree exit. I was finally on to pineapples. I was somehow able to make it most of the way through pineapples, but then the chat casted a high-level command spell and I failed my wisdom saving throw. After falling, I took a break for lunch and put on a summoning salt video. Then I continued to toil through grapes and Honey Tree. Finally, 8 hours into the stream, I managed to exit Honey Tree for the 3rd time.
Don't choke now? Oh, there's no way that I'm not falling back down to grapes. Uh-oh. Dear, uh-oh. Well, see y'all at Honey Tree.
Now I've already introduced you to the progress percentage displayed in the top left of the screen. But it turns out you also have the option to enable the timer, which shows how long you've been playing. With the timer turned on, it showed that I'd completed 50.2% of the map in 12 hours and 15 minutes. Taking another food break, I decided to watch a Vsauce video. And with the Vsauce buff to my intelligence and debuff to my sanity, I managed to make it past Honey Tree with relative ease. Pineapples is a rather short section. The main difficulty comes from this jump right here where you have to boost to gain height, catch yourself on the slope of either pineapple, then bounce your way to the top. And what you just saw was legitimately my first try. But all good things must come to an end, so I took yet another plummet to grapes.
Who is this? Is this somebody else? Who are you? Tyler?
Some of you might notice that Tyler has a green name, which can only mean one thing. He is way better than me at Pogostuck. Having a green name means you're a Pogostuck legend, which requires you to complete the most challenging of challenges in an already challenging game. As the stream passed the 12-hour mark, I was determined to make it past pineapples. But despite my best efforts, after making it up to pineapples 3 times in the span of 20 minutes, I couldn't. I ended up finishing the day exactly where I started. With the stream still running, I made my bed and went to sleep. Tomorrow's goal was to make it past pineapples. I started day 4 with a determination to beat pineapples. In just the first 4 minutes of playing, I was out of Honey Tree.
I literally just woke up like this.
And if that wasn't enough, I managed to achieve my goal of getting past pineapples in just 30 minutes. I was now over halfway through map 1. Now it's time for palm trees. Here you have to jump back and forth using the tree spikes as narrow steps. You fall down a lot, but you don't fall that far, so it's not a big deal. It took me a few tries, but eventually I made my way up to the first of 2 stone heads. Here you have to get a boost to make it over the first head, after which you fall into a little valley and a few more boosted jumps will help you get to the top of the second head. However, chat told me that if you get enough consecutive jumps on the first head, there's a very special surprise.
I got it!
From the top of the second head, you jump down this wind tunnel and then launch yourself up onto a ledge on the left. Except I wasn't aware you had to adjust your alignment, and so I fell. Now I had to go through pineapples again, which didn't go well.
Oh no.
Took me a couple hours to make it back to the wind tunnel, but this time I decided to formulate a plan.
So what? You just gotta fall. You gotta go to the left. Ah! Ah! We're in! Let's go!
Welcome to mushrooms. These mushrooms act the same as before. First you need to use this lone mushroom to bounce up into this tunnel. Then you bounce your way through there and launch yourself over this gap to the other side. But if you fall down the gap, you do have enough momentum to make an easy recovery, like this. All things considered, mushrooms is a pretty safe section, so long as you don't make one major mistake.
Ah! 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 Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, good.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, let's beat these pineapples, and then we're gonna beat the pineapple trees. Wait, pineapple trees. Pineapple trees. Is that what they're called? Palm trees? I was like, no way they're all called pineapple trees, sorry. Some of them make coconuts.
An hour later, I made it back to mushrooms, making sure not to make the same mistake again.
Bro, I just...
Having learned my lesson, I made it through the mushroom tunnel and over the gap without issue. To move on from mushrooms, you need to mushroom boost into this vertical passage, then use wall jumps to gain height. Despite not making it to the top, I honestly didn't do too bad for my first attempt. At one point, Tyler asked if I thought I would beat the game today. But considering I was in grapes just 6 minutes later, I think no is a safe bet.
Watch the grapes, goat. See ya, chief.
After a brief 2.5 hours, I successfully made it out of mushrooms. I was now onto pillars. I'm going to be honest with you. Pillars fucking sucks. It looks pretty simple considering it's only 3 jumps, but the problem is you have to land perfectly on these very narrow pillars in order to pull it off. Otherwise you fall.
What the fuck is that? Oh yeah, incoming grapes? How about incoming pineapples? Uh-oh.
For the next 3 hours, I kept leaving grapes only to immediately fall back down.
How long till we're back at grapes? 2 hours? It's not about the winning. It's about the grapes.
I'd obviously had enough for the day, so I decided to call it.
Bro, I could do grapes in my sleep. I could do grapes in my sleep. I could do honey tree whenever I'm half asleep. I could do pineapples whenever I'm on the computer and awake and aware.
And while I was nowhere near close to finishing the game, I still made significant progress. 68% was my new best, and I was certain that tomorrow I would go even further. The next day was Monday and I had school, so for the beginning of the day, the stream was taken over by Charlie and Garfield. When I got back home, I was feeling more than ready to take on pillars.
Bro, I feel like I'm on fire right now. Nothing's gonna stop me now.
After warming up, I had no trouble making it up to pillars. I didn't quite make it past, but I still felt really good about today, even after falling to grapes, because check this out.
I mean, how else would I prove I'm the grape goat without falling into some grapes, you know? The classic grapes.
They don't call me the grapes goat for nothing. Over the next hour, I made it up to pillars twice with no success. Then on my third try, I pulled this off. After this small cave, you have the option to go right or left. To the right is the snake. Going there is a bad idea. Going left, you reach anvil. The only thing you need to do here is boost off the anvil and angle yourself enough to avoid this low-hanging rock. This was my first attempt.
See you on the flip side, boys. See you on the flip side.
When I got back to Anvil an hour later, I decided to make a plan.
What's the game plan? I said we jump on the anvil, and then we go over there. Right here. We go right here.
At one point, my friend Nick, who had never played Pogostuck before, bet me 5 subs that he could reach my personal best of 74.9% in one night.
I seriously do not believe you can do that.
Needless to say, I was 5 subs richer that day. Also, this happened.
I thought you were actually a mushroom!
After another hour, I finished day 5 in palm trees and got ready for another night of sleep. The goal for tomorrow? Beat Anvil. The next day, I forgot to press record when I got home, but fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't make any progress. It didn't take long for me to reach pillars, and soon enough I was back at Anvil.
I should really pause the game whenever I'm looking away, huh?
The first 2 hours of the day saw several failed attempts at Anvil. But after all that practice, I finally managed to pull this off.
Fuck it, we ball!
I'd made it to Flowers. Flowers is a particularly challenging section with how cramped it is and all the holes in the floor. Falling will send you to mushrooms, or if you're really unlucky, grapes. The first jump isn't too bad.
Fuck it, we ball.
But the second jump can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing.
You jump up in the air, and you do a flip, and then you go down, and then you go back up.
It took me over an hour of attempts, but eventually I got it. Luckily, the next jump is definitely the easiest.
I forget how to play the game.
It took me another hour to make it back, but this time, success. This is the final part of Flowers, and it is the worst part in all of Map 1. It's only 2 jumps, but they are so easy to mess up, and if you do, there is no recovering.
Just focus. Ain't nothing wrong. Uh-oh.
After yet another fall from Flowers, I decided to call it a day. 78.9% in 36 hours. Tomorrow's goal? Beat Flowers. Day 7 was off to a rough start. My stream was having major connection issues, making it almost unwatchable.
It's alright. It'll work itself out.
I tried to press on and continue playing, hoping the stream wouldn't go down entirely.
It's like the law of equivalent exchange. What goes in internet must come in internet. You're pretty sure the law of equivalent exchange is from an anime? No, we learned about it in class. It's Newton's 4th law. It's like if the ball clicks on one side, it's got to clack on the other. Give it a Google? Okay. They made that up for the show? No, it's right here. It says Newton's 4th law, as in what goes up must come down.
But the internet issues were only getting worse.
Unwatchable with the frames right now?
I didn't want to end the stream, but I also didn't want to keep playing Pogostuck while my viewers watched a blurry PowerPoint.
Also, apparently, I was just told by 2 different people that there are severe tornado warnings in my area. What a good day this is.
I decided to take a break from Pogostuck and do some less important things in the meantime.
Yesterday was an extreme high, highest numbers we've ever seen, off the charts. And then we have today. And we just reach a whole new low.
It took over an hour of waiting, but eventually I was able to get back to Pogostuck. On my way back to Flowers, Tyler offered me a deal.
If you beat the game in the next 2 hours, you will gift me 5 subs. I mean, I accept your deal, of course. Do I feel confident that I will? Well, I'll try my best.
Then others joined in on the bet.
You will also gift 5. Okay, now there's a lot on the line here. You will gift 10. You'll gift... Okay.
With 25 subs on the line, I tried my best to lock in for Flowers.
Couldn't have done it without you, game. Thank you, game. Send me the mushrooms, yes. Might as well send me the grapes, I guess. I've never hated this game more. It's for this reason that I'm gonna beat this fucking game tomorrow. I'm not gonna beat it with love, I'm gonna beat it with a vengeance. For tonight, for what it did to me.
I definitely would not be winning the 25 gifted subs.
How am I back at 40%? It's called falling. It happens.
I'd had enough. I decided to end the day in mushrooms. Despite everything, I was confident that tomorrow would be the day. Starting day 8, I forgot to press record, which sucks because I actually made it past flowers.
We are 20 minutes in. Last night we played for 2 hours. And I just did in 20 minutes what I couldn't do in 2 hours.
So I guess it's time for ice? Honestly, this part is a breeze. The gimmick here is that the floor is covered in ice, which causes you to slide around, but there's literally nowhere to fall. Ice took some getting used to, but after a few minutes, I managed to make it up the vertical tunnel leading to coal. This is the second to last obstacle of the entire map. In order to make it past coal, you need to fall down this shaft, catch yourself on the bottom of this wall, and then make it through this gap. This was my attempt.
Uh-oh.
Good enough? This is Bird. It is the final major jump of Pogostuck Map 1. To make this jump, you have to boost off the bird statue's head, fly over the giant chasm, and make it through the narrowest gap in the entirety of Map 1. That's it. That was all that stood between me and the end of this challenge.
Land on the eye with the, like, okay, so this is the head, right? I'll land right here. 45-degree angle. All right, let me put on some music.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Oh, baby, here we go. Here we go. It's about feeling. It's about drive. It's about power. We beat this game. All right, here we go.
I was back at Anvil, but it was still early. I knew it would only be a matter of time before I beat the game. The big issue was that Flowers was still in the way, and I sucked at Flowers.
Boo. 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 Well, it's a grape stream.
My second success at Flowers was 45 minutes later, and I made it easily through ice and found myself back at coal. This time I wasn't so lucky. Two hours went by before I made it back to coal, yet I still couldn't beat it.
Somebody's about to get fired, and you will not, listen to me, you will not.
No, he's choking. He's choking. He's choking, bro. He's choking. He's choking so fucking bad, bro. Oh my God, my hands are shaking.
For some reason, I was too in my own head, making me play even worse.
Are we making you nervous? No, I appreciate the hype trains in game. It's just Flowers makes me nervous. Flowers is what's throwing me. It's like literally every time I go to Flowers, I just like lose it. I just lose it. Just fucking Flowers. Because I know that's where I'm gonna mess up, and then I do mess up.
For 5 straight hours, I pushed myself to beat the game.
Fuck this game, bro! This game is complete bullshit. How in the first 30 minutes did I come one jump away from beating the game? And then in the past 4 hours, I have not gotten back to that point at all. Not even close.
In this moment, I felt like I'd let everyone down. We all thought today was going to be the day, but I couldn't make it happen.
This game is like the Dark Knight trilogy. It begins with fear. Fear of the unknown, because you're stepping into a world that you've never been in before, but it's somewhat intriguing. And then it's followed by chaos, because you jump around and you don't know what's going on. You're just jumping and jumping and you can't get your jumps right, but it's very chaotic. And it ends with pain. It ends with pain.
What is it that drives us to finish the things we start? Why do we chase the things that knock us down? Why do we suffer for something no one asked us to do? It wasn't just about beating the game. It was about going through the tough times and seeing it through to the very end. Because by persevering through these struggles, we show ourselves who we really are. And that means something.
All right, everybody, today's got to be the day. I've been thinking about it all day. I've been imagining the jumps that will lead me to victory.
I was determined to beat the game today, and I knew that in order to make that happen, I would need to remain calm and focused no matter how many times I fell.
And this is the hardest jump, in my opinion. It's really not that bad, though. It's just I keep throwing. Like that.
2.5 hours in, I finally made it to bird.
Oh, well.
But it only took me another 40 minutes to make it back, thanks in part to the bonk strat, which makes Cole more consistent. Once again, one last jump remained.
Oh!
Over the next 3 hours, I had 5 more attempts at bird, all with varying degrees of success.
We still have much to learn.
Then it happened.
Let's go! Fuck this game! Let's go! Let's go! Yes!
51.5 hours, 9 total days, and I lost it all in a matter of seconds.
I should really pause the game whenever I'm looking away, huh?
I tried my best to stay positive, but this crushed me. As the day went on, my bird attempts were becoming fewer and further between. The chat tried to stay positive, but I was already beating myself up. And with every fall, I felt more and more like today was going to be another failure. It got to the point where I had to just walk away. But while I was gone, I was linked a video in chat. And when I got back, I watched it, not saying a single word. I told chat today was going to be the day. I told myself today was going to be the day. And I wasn't going to stop now. I closed my chat and pushed aside my mic. Time to lock the fuck in. Grapes, honey tree, pineapples, palm trees, mushrooms, pillars, anvil, flowers, ice, coal. In a moment of universal alignment, Poopsock42069, the man who started it all, joined the chat. Honey tree, pineapples, palm trees, mushrooms, pillars, anvil, flowers, ice, coal. And then, bird.
Yeah! Let's go! Fuck this game! Fuck this game! We fucking win!
And I even paused the game.
Stardust fucking Crusaders, bitch!
All I had left to do was make my way up the steps, jump up the sap-covered wall, and there it was. The end of the road.
Sorry to start the song over, it's almost done. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. 54 fucking hours. 7 days. Let's fucking go. Yes! Fuck Oh God, that's like a world record. Thank you everybody for being here.
You ever find yourself standing at the bottom of something impossible? No one would blame you for turning back. But there's a whisper in your chest. Just one thought that won't let go. So you listen to that whisper. And when you make it to the top, you find you had it in you all along.
Thank you so much for watching this video. This journey really means a lot to me, so if you enjoyed it, do me a favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel. I plan on making more videos in the future, so stick around if that's something you'd like to watch. And a huge thank you to everyone who was there during the original Pogostuck Map 1 journey. I really couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. I'm Maxwell, thanks for watching.
We're free. We're free, baby. We're free. Sure thing, Godzilla. Map 2 win. Bro, there's not going to be a map 2 for a while. For a hot minute.